What's going on, guys? For this video, just gonna do a quick walk around of my new trade-in that I did for the WRX. This thing is awesome. Let me go ahead and do a little flyby for you. What is going on, guys? My name is Keegan, and for this video, I'm gonna show you how to take your Subaru WRX from this to this. Now, I wish I had those pictures backwards, but what we're actually doing today is starting the part out on my 2013 WRX hatch. Now, if you want to see a little bit more exactly about why I'm doing that, or a little bit more information on the car as it is, go ahead and find my last video I did going over the car and talking about the exact reason why I'm selling it and everything like that. Now, without further ado, first step is to get the lug nuts loosened and get the car jacked up. From there, we'll start working on getting the wheels swapped out, the suspension back to stock, and the exhaust off. Nothing too bad, already done this before, of course, making it modified. Now time to unmodify it. Alright, let's go. First step, complete. Now it's time to finally start getting into the suspension side of things. Now, with it being lowered for about the past year or so, I'm not sure how easy everything's gonna come off, how things are gonna be different when going from stock to lowered, now from lowered back to stock. So hopefully it should be a pretty easy process, just getting it back to how it actually came. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I might have to enlist some help from my girlfriend. If not, we'll see what we can do. On a side note, if anyone is looking for any NK NT03s for a Subaru, these fit the 5x100 bolt pattern. They're actually pretty hard to find, but they really went well on this car, and I'd love to see them go to a good home. And just like that, the first one's already out. Now we'll show you guys in here, just show you kind of what was going on. It was super simple. Just had a couple of bolts that actually mounted to the strut, one holding on the brake line, and then of course 3 right here for the top hat. So I'm gonna go ahead and find the replacement one from the stockpile that I've got. Get that put in, that way it's not putting too much stress on the axles while it's just sitting there with nothing in it. We'll go ahead and start getting things bolted up, and from there I'll touch base. I'm not gonna bore you guys with showing you this 3 more times, so let's get to it. As you guys can see, I had to enlist the help of my lovely assistant Ashley here. One of these bolts is giving me a little bit of trouble, but I also wanted to take a second to show you the difference between the OEM strut and spring and the BC racing coilover. So you can just tell that you're getting a lot more out of running that BC on your car than you were running any sort of the stock. So let's see if we can get this bolt out. Hopefully with her help we can make it happen. We'll keep moving around the car from there. A little bit of a progress update. We managed to get the first one switched back over onto the stock struts. I am not looking forward to how it's going to handle and look with these on it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Now time to get to the rears. Last time whenever we put them in, it was so much easier than the fronts, but either way, it's honestly not a bad process. You just might wanna have an extra hand there for putting the stock strut back in, getting the bolts out. It always helps to have an extra set of hands. So in the last clip, I stated that the rears are going to be easier than the fronts, and although there's less bolts, less confusion, it's actually proving to be a lot more difficult. What happened is we were able to get the coilovers out, but right down there, I believe it's the lower control arm, it's catching on the bottom of the strut. It did the same thing when trying to get it out, and you can see we're almost in, but we're trying to put all of our weight on it and get it to clear so that we can get to those top hat bolts that are up there in the truck. So I figured I would turn the camera on. I'll go ahead and set the camera up because I think this is a little bit amusing, and hopefully we can get it this time. Last update for a little bit, we just got the rears finished up as well as got the exhaust unbolted. Those exhaust bolts are always super hard to get off. They're even worse the first time that I did them, so thankfully I had already done it once. So they weren't horrible, but they took about 15 minutes just to get a couple of bolts off. Now we're gonna go grab some lunch, then we'll get back, get the exhaust swapped out, and make sure everything's good before dropping it down on those stock wheels. So Stay tuned, we'll be right back. We're back, ready to get this thing finished up. As you can see, we've got all of the coilovers taken out of the car. As I said with the wheels, if anybody happens to be interested, let me know. Would love to see them go to a good home. And I've got the stock wheels all ready. I did have some winter tires on them, but I just got these stock ones mounted back up so that it'll be a little bit more practical. The pattern on those WRX wheels is honestly pretty close to the end case, so that shouldn't ruin it too much, but the fitment is definitely gonna be hurting a little bit without the coilovers and without having the wider wheels. So anyway, ready to get it finished up. Just have to get the exhaust taken off, put the stock back on. We'll have it on the ground here in no time. You guys ready? Are you sure you're ready? Here it is. Here it is, guys. It was a bit sad to finally see it back at the stock ride height with stock wheels. I started it up for the first time. Stock exhaust sounds as bad as you'd probably expect. But for a stock car, this WRX is still honestly one of the best that you can get for the money. Now, you can see wheel gap, really not horrible, but nowhere close to what it was. Same thing in the back here, and as you come around, those big 4-inch tips are now disappeared, and there's a couple just hiding in there that are a bit smaller. So let me know what you guys think. It's still an incredible car. I hope it goes to an incredible home, and I'm doing all this to, you know, be able to do different things in the future and to be able to support things that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you haven't already, and subscribe down below. Thanks for watching.